Hello there friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. We talked a lot on this channel about how the restrictions of the Jedi Order have made it incredibly difficult for certain individuals. Like any strict religion or organization, these rules are generally used to maintain control over the members of that group and make sure that their loyalty is to the group first and everything else second. This means placing the Jedi Order before your friends and family. Well, actually, in the Jedi's case, having a family or just the concept of love was forbidden. This was one of Anakin Skywalker's fatal flaws. He was an individual who had been ripped away from his own mother at a young age and found himself labeled as an outsider while trying to fit in with the rest of the Jedi younglings who had joined the Order at a much younger age. And so, Anakin desired companionship. He didn't want to be alone, and finding that relationship with Padme Amidala was extremely important for his personal development and growth and stability. But this was an extremely forbidden relationship which could damage not only his own career, but his wife's career in the Senate as well. The Jedi were wrong to ban relationships. We gone in depth about how these kind of restrictive rules create extremism within the Jedi Order. It would be this ban of relationships that also leads to Anakin Skywalker's downfall. Worried about the visions he kept receiving of Padme dying, he was willing to get help from anyone to save her, even if that help came from a Sith Lord like Chancellor Palpatine. The saddest part of all this is the fact that Anakin Skywalker felt like he had to deal with all of this by himself. He believed that he had no one to talk to. Senator Padme Amidala used to be a queen. I'm sure she was extremely high maintenance, and Anakin had to suffer through that entire relationship with no homies to complain to or vent things about. And you wonder why he goes to the dark side. Equally as frustrating is the fact that his mentor and father figure, Obi Wan Kenobi, never had that love talk with Anakin because his master was actually pretty experienced with love. Look, I know we're supposed to believe that Anakin and Padme were good at keeping their relationship a secret. But let's be honest, those close to Anakin and Padme knew that something was going on. I mean, how many times did Anakin just abandon what he was doing and run off to another side of the galaxy to go save Padme from some evil separatist general or droid army? How many times did he go visit the senator and have nice dinner outings and meetings with her for no apparent reason? Obi Wan Kenobi is also like a father figure to Anakin Skywalker. He basically raised the kid, and so he would normally know what was going on in Anakin's head, especially when he was in love or experiencing some other strong emotion. During the Battle of Geonosis, when Padme falls out of the gunship because she underestimates the power of seatbelts, Anakin almost jumps out after her. This action didn't have a normal, let's save that innocent person vibe. There was a sense of desperation and attachment behind this action, and Obi Wan Kenobi definitely sensed that the attachment was towards Padme. Obi Wan Kenobi would also sense this again when General Grievous captures Padme's ship, or when Padme comes down with a deadly blue shadow virus and needs an antidote, or when Padme is asked to go on a secret mission with the handsome Rush Clovis. You know, either Obi Wan Kenobi is completely blind to human interactions and relationships, or he totally knew and he was just being cool about it. He's the sort of guy who doesn't like pushing and prodding, and he likes to mind his own business. Because it was clear that by the end of the Clone Wars, Obi Wan Kenobi either suspected or knew that Padme and Anakin were kissing each other on the mouths. I mean, Anakin also wasn't doing a good job keeping his meetings with Padme low-key either, and Obi Wan Kenobi calls him out about it.
I hope you at least told Padme I said hello.
Obi-Wan also quickly realizes that Padme's pregnancy was most likely caused by Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin is the father, isn't he?
Honestly, knowing Obi Wan Kenobi, this could also be an attempt at forced persuasion. He's basically persuading Padme to forget about the passionate love that they made together and forget the fact that he could potentially be the father in this case as well. Which is why the real thing that we lose with the death of daytime television is excellent programming, like Maury's Who's the Father segment. Anyway, it's pretty clear that Obi Wan Kenobi knew what was going on, so why didn't he say anything about it? Back when Obi Wan Kenobi was just a Padawan under the tutelage of Qui-Gon Jinn, the two were sent to the world of Mandalore, which was in the midst of a civil war. Their job was to protect the young Duchess Satine Kryze. The young politician was fighting against the Death Watch faction for leadership of the future of Mandalore. Duchess Satine believed in pacifism. She completely rejected the Mandalorians' ancient warrior ways, and she also believed in economic and cultural development over military might. This is why the three of them were basically being chased around for a year by bounty hunters and other Death Watch fighters who wanted to really slaughter them. Obi Wan Kenobi and Satine, who were of a similar age, felt very romantic feelings for each other. Plus, Qui-Gon Jinn was probably one of the coolest masters in the Jedi Order in the way he interpreted the rules. He basically didn't follow any of the rules. Obi Wan Kenobi often had to correct his master from straying too far from the Jedi path on multiple occasions. Also, Qui-Gon Jinn had his own romantic interests, which he pursued until death changed his plans. So yeah, thanks to Qui-Gon Jinn's complete lack of supervision, these two crazy kids fell in love. And later on during the Clone Wars, Obi Wan Kenobi would eventually return to Mandalore after new threats arise against Satine. And during one particularly adorable hostage crisis moment, Obi Wan Kenobi says the following.
Had you said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order.
I mean, this is a pretty big reveal, if you ask me. Obi Wan Kenobi has long been seen as one of the most loyal, steadfast, and rule-abiding Jedi. And it's clear here that he was willing to throw all of this away for love. This says a lot about who Obi Wan Kenobi was as a person. Now, the real reason why Satine Kryze never asks Obi-Wan to do this and leave the Jedi Order is because both of these individuals understood that they were servants to their people or to the galaxy, and that they had to put aside their own personal goals and wishes because of that responsibility. Satine Kryze realistically would never stop being the Duchess, and Obi-Wan Kenobi would never stop being a Jedi Master. They both accepted their station in life and the responsibilities of those stations. It's one of the biggest tragedies of Obi-Wan Kenobi's life, and the one time we ever see him go rogue is when he attempts to rescue Satine Kryze from the grasp of Maul. This is a completely unsanctioned mission.
But to take action, support from the Republic Senate, we will need.
They will not send aid to a neutral system.
This is a very bold and Anakin Skywalker-like move for Obi-Wan Kenobi to pull, which is why, again, Obi-Wan Kenobi would have been the perfect person for Anakin to talk love about. So why didn't Obi-Wan Kenobi talk to Anakin about this? It makes very little sense for him not to. He knew that Anakin was a troubled child and a troubled Jedi. He clearly had emotional attachment issues along with the usual fears and anxieties that come with being a former slave and child combatant on a planet full of sand. Perhaps Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't want to mention his past with Satine Kryze because it would kind of label him as a hypocrite. Maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi was afraid that his own behavior was very similar to what Anakin Skywalker would have done in his shoes. But then again, Obi-Wan Kenobi ultimately made the right choice, at least the right choice in the Jedi Order's eyes. He didn't pursue Satine. They went their separate ways and continued their lives. Anyway, it would have been a lot better for someone like Obi-Wan Kenobi to explain to Anakin why he would need to let go of his relationship with Padme, because at least Obi-Wan understands what he's asking of Anakin. He's seen Satine ripped away from him. But therein lies the problem. Obi-Wan Kenobi understands that Anakin will most likely become very emotional about this issue and not be pragmatic and reasonable. There was a very small chance that Anakin would be willing to let go of Padme. I mean, he goes to the dark side to essentially save her. He even kills a bunch of younglings for no reason. At the same time, if Obi-Wan Kenobi is just being a good friend to Anakin and not just a Jedi Master, he probably would have told Anakin Skywalker to leave the Order and just continue an ordinary life in peace and bliss with his wife. Obi-Wan Kenobi, however, had another responsibility, and that was fulfilling the last wishes of Qui-Gon Jinn, who specifically wanted Anakin to be trained so that he could become the Chosen One. And so Obi-Wan Kenobi can't suggest that Anakin just leave and take Padme with him. Ultimately, any way you look at it, this would have been a really, really difficult conversation, but I think it would have been a very beneficial one for Anakin to hear. This is so when Anakin has a vision of Padme dying, he could have went to the Jedi instead of the Sith. The Jedi are clearly better at healing and keeping people alive than the Sith, whose faces are literally falling apart from the effects of dark side voodoo. This is probably one of Obi Wan Kenobi's greatest failures. I mean, the fact that he didn't have this conversation led Anakin to some pretty dark places. So next time you feel like you have a very important discussion you want to have with one of your friends and kind of don't want to because you're afraid of upsetting them, you should probably do it. Who knows how many younglings you'll be saving in the process. So there you have it, guys. That is our breakdown on why Obi Wan Kenobi never has that love talk with Anakin Skywalker. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and what you would have done in his situation. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button down below so you don't miss out on the rest of our awesome content. As usual, thanks for joining us today. If you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.